Welcome to the half hour to health. Okay, stress. Anybody hear about stress or know anything about it lately? Okay. Well, it's effective. Without it, we die. But first off, you can take all the stressors in the world and boil it down to 3 categories. Physical, chemical, and emotional. Every stress boils down to this. The problem is your body doesn't know the difference between any one of those. In fact, if we were to go, ah! Good. Did that scare you? Good. It was meant to. Okay. Understand. Now, this is the weird part about how human beings work. Okay. Your body's built by God. It's smart. But under physical, chemical, and emotional stress, your body responds the same way to each one. It doesn't matter if you're chemically stressed or if you're perceiving stress. Your body responds to each one the same way. And how does that response? Well, first off, your body responds like you're being chased by a tiger. Okay, under stress. So right now, that was perceived stress. You got scared? Good. Well, okay. Most the average person would, not you. But yeah, under perceived stress. So what happens is your body responds like you're being chased by a tiger. So if you're being chased by a tiger, what happens to the heart rate? Yeah, it goes up. I know, there's a clue. Okay, heart rate goes up. So under any physical, chemical, or emotional stress, your heart rate elevates. Now also, do you want blood going to digestion or blood going to arms and legs? Arms and legs. So blood supply to the entire GI tract shuts down. Does this mean that chronic stress can cause GI abnormalities? Yeah. Can it cause malabsorption? Can it cause nutritional deficiencies? Yes or yes? Oh man, this could really be long term. Now since the liver is a huge enzyme factory, what happens under physical, chemical, or emotional stress? It starts to break glycogen down to glucose, so blood sugar is elevated. So all of this happens under physical, chemical, emotional stress. Also, might you be injured? You're being chased by a tiger. Come on. Yeah, right. Yes or yes? Yeah. So your body produces cholesterol. Now, have you heard of good cholesterol and bad cholesterol? Yeah, anybody who says that, fire them, particularly if they're a doctor. Okay, there is no good cholesterol or bad cholesterol. There's appropriate cholesterol and appropriate cholesterol. Cholesterol, what ignorant physicians call bad, the LDL, low-density lipoprotein, is the precursor to stress hormones, and it's used for tissue repair. So if you're a super healthy fighter and you just got into a fight, guess what happens to your LDL cholesterol? It goes up. And what do they say? They say cholesterol clogs arteries? Yeah? Is that what they say? Yeah. Well, why doesn't it clog the small arteries? If it did, would people be walking around with black fingers and toes? Yeah, they would. Why does it only clog the large ones? Why does it not clog the veins? Inquiring minds want to know. So understand, cholesterol clogging arteries is a theory that's not proven and it's not true. So under physical, chemical, and emotional stress, what happens to this structure is 100 times out of 100, the heart rate goes up, blood pressure elevates, blood supply to the gut shuts down, blood sugar elevates, blood cholesterol elevates, 100 times out of 100. But also, your immune system is depressed. Your body can only do 2 things. One, it can protect yourself, or it can build its immune system. Now, have you ever had a cold? Anyone? I heard other people get colds. Yeah. Do you feel like full of energy and life when you have a cold? Or do you feel wiped out? That's because the immune system is metabolically expensive. So if you're under stress, your body that's a short-term response designed to keep your body alive in the short term. It's not designed for immune system function. Does that make sense? Yeah, well now let's look at the typical response. Now, I call this the pharmaceutical approach to stress. So let's say you take on stress. Now, this is physical, chemical, or emotional stress. Typically, if you're getting your medical information from the television or newspaper, like most people, well, first off, your response, and this is the physiologic response, respiration goes down. Headache, stomach irritation goes up. Again, let's look at this. Why? Because blood supply to the gut shuts down. Now, typically, under this response, most people will take a medication, particularly today. Now, all medications slow or stop a metabolic process. Wait a second, what did I just say? All medications slow or stop a metabolic process. Now, since your body governs its health on metabolism, every medication is going to cause a disastrous effect if you take it too long. It can save your life in the short term. But all medications are going to lower your resistance. That results in sickness or disease, okay? And that results in increased stress. So it's tough. And a lot of people say medications, you got to recover from two things. One, the disease, and two, the effects of a medication. But now this is a cycle that needs to be broken. First off, let's look at this patient here. Do me a favor, sit up nice and straight. Now let's say that this person is a patient that came in here a couple of years ago. He did. Slide off to the side just a little bit like him. Now take a deep breath. It's a little uncomfortable, isn't it? Okay. Now go back to the middle and take a deep breath. It's quite a bit easier. So now what happens is, remember, do you think he's under physical stress? So his heart rate's elevated, yes. His blood sugar's elevated. His cholesterol's elevated, yes. Now, since the brain burns 90% of the body's oxygen, is his heart in this body position going to have to increase its blood pressure to get oxygen to the brain? Absolutely or absolutely? Yeah, absolutely. Good. Yeah, I'm going to give you good choices. So now what happens is, what's he going to be diagnosed? In this culture of symptoms being bad, instead of diagnosed in this culture of being appropriate. Now let's say that he's had this symptom since high school, and he did. Would he be healthy or sedentary? Let's say he's sedentary. Now for every 1 pound of extra fat, you have a mile of blood vessels. Let's say on the average he's 20 pounds overweight. Let's just say for the heck of it. So it's 20 more miles his heart has to put blood through. Do you think that his blood pressure should be higher given these type of stressors? I'm sorry, in this culture, everybody's supposed to have the same blood pressure. I see a bunch of people smiling. Okay, that doesn't make sense, does it? Sounds pretty foolish. I'm sorry, what did the medical community say? Everybody's supposed to have the same. So that's not effective long term. Because now let's say that you give this person with that problem of getting oxygen to the brain, with the physical stressors that he's going on, you give him a drug to slow down his heart rate. Will that make him healthier or sicker? Sicker. Here he is 90 days later, no blood pressure medications, no cholesterol medications, normal functioning. Do you see a difference there? Go on, you can say it with me. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because we're looking at the body as being intelligent. So now, first off, let's look at one of the main stressors, emotional stress. Now the tough part is it's not what's happening to you. Like, Lord, don't say your boss is pissing you off. Okay, it's your perception of me pissing you off. No. Understand, it's a perception of what's happening, not what's happening to you. Okay, and I know this is a tough one. When I speak to single moms, particularly single moms at a shelter, okay, they have to own that their perception. Bear with me. Okay, you're driving in a car down the road. All of a sudden, your kid's next to you. Somebody cut you off. You got to slam on the brakes. Your purse barrel's on the ground, and you got to protect. That's so and so. He in danger in my car. In danger in my. What does that cost you? First off, heart rate goes up, immune system is depressed, blood sugar's elevated. Okay, that's metabolically expensive. What did that just cost you? A lot. Now let's say you're driving down the road. Your kid's next to you. All of a sudden, somebody cuts you off in the drive. You stop. Your purse falls on the floor. Oh my gosh, that poor man to be driving so erratically. He must be in great danger. I hope he gets to wherever he's going safely. I hope he doesn't endanger someone. Okay, granted, the second response is like Gandhi, but still. Okay, you've got two choices there. So it's the same event, but different perception. And we're going to talk about perception, how this also is directly linked to immune system function.